Hello, 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 and welcome to the Manifest on Purpose Mindset Show Backstage. I am your host, Kimberly Williams. On that show, I help you align your mindset with the things you really want in your life so that you can create the best version of yourself. You can find that show right here on the YouTube feed. Before I jump into the conversation, I want to get into some gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for sharing it with your friends. And thank you for subscribing and clicking that notification bell so that you can get updates on the newest videos. Today's topic is about Conversation 103. When I share my experience about being an empath and an introvert all at the same time. The reason why I chose this topic is because I've been minding my mental this week. If you watched the last backstage, you'll know exactly what's going on. But I had to mind my mental. And one of the things that happened that led to this week's minding my mental was I didn't get the proper rest I needed after a group event before challenges arose. So I didn't have time to really ground myself and prepare before challenges start coming in. And it makes a difference because when you're empathic or if you're an introvert, whenever you're around groups of people, you need that downtime to relax. I decided to do something special because I want you to know what's your personality type. It's important. It's like a navigation system. When I went over my personality type, I was amazed. To me, it seemed like an astrology report almost. But when you know and are aware of what your personality is really like, then you can prepare and you can protect yourself as such. So I wanted to do this video and share that link with you and share the experience with you also so that you can be aware of what your personality type so you will know what you can do in cases of when you need to be prepared, if nothing else. Give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen so that we're going to go through this test together. One moment. Okay, here we go. The website is 16 Personalities. This is something that I Google searched. You can go to 16 Personalities and get your very own free personality test. And it says it's so incredible to finally be understood. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and retake the test because I want you to see exactly what the process is like. I've already taken it a couple of times and it came out the same every time I take it. You get these questions such as, you regularly make new friends. I agree with that. And while I'm answering my questions, I just want to go over what an introvert is, what an extrovert is, and what an empath is. These are terms that Carl Jung also helped bring to the forefront. Being an introvert, being an introvert or extrovert is just talking about how you receive your energy and how you expend your energy. Being an introvert means that you go within for your energy to build your energy. You like being within. If you're an extrovert, this is quite the opposite. You like being in crowds, you like being around people. That's what gives you your energy. And you have to forgive me because I'm trying to talk and also answer these questions at the same time. So I'll be pausing in between. And the questions are really easy. This one is, you usually stay calm under a lot of pressure. That's true. And it's just agree and disagree questions. And as it said on the homepage, it only takes about 10 minutes if you're not like me and running your mouth while you're doing it. With empaths, empaths are really, they feel energy from the people that are around you, from the places that are around you. Empaths feel energy. And not only do they feel it, they carry this energy. They become a part of that energy, becomes a part of them. So if someone's standing next to you and that person is feeling extremely happy, the empath will feel that for themselves. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone and finding interesting, and you find it interesting striking up conversations. Definitely not me. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations. Oh, I like doing that stuff, so I'm going to disagree there. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. No, I'm a heart person all the way. That Leo, that's the heart energy. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment. That's me. I like things to be in flow. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression. Okay, sometimes I'm gonna think about that, the impression I make on others. You enjoy participating in group activities. And I want to clarify that too, because I know a lot of people think that empaths do not enjoy being around other people or being around groups. And it's not that at all. It's just that, especially for me, it's draining. I enjoy being around groups of people. I love it. Although, if you look at me from the outside, it may look like I'm not loving it, but that's because my energy is drawn from the inside. So when I'm happy, I'm feeling happy inside. When I'm excited, I'm feeling excited inside. So that's why I don't show a lot of emotion. A lot of people have accused me of having the poker face. Yes, that is me, because whatever I experience, you may experience on a physical level, but I experience it inside. So that's why I tend to keep to myself. And that's why it looks like I may not be having fun, but I could be having the time of my life. Honestly, it just makes me feel good to see other people having fun. You like books and movies. That's all I need to see. You know, I agree with that. Your happiness comes from helping with others. No need to go any further because I agree with that. You are interested in so many things. Yeah, I am interested in a lot of things. You are prone to worrying that things could take a turn for the worse. I'm kind of neutral about that. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. Now, let me tell you, I won't be the first one to volunteer, but you know, in those cases when they need volunteers and everybody's just sitting back, like, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, I'll be like, I'll do it. And that's where I thrive at. I thrive in leadership. So that's why I don't mind stepping up when I have to, but I'm not going to be the first one to volunteer for it. You are definitely not an artistic type. I disagree with that somewhat because I'm a creator. You think the world would be a better place if people relied on rationality and less on their feelings. I disagree wholeheartedly. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Not. My mom knew that wasn't me. You enjoy watching people argue. Not, I don't even want to see it on television, guys. I'm serious about that. When I talk about the energy that you allow to come into your life, those things that you watch on TV, you have to be careful of it. because there are times that I have watched a movie and the movie may not have been like gruesomely violent, but there were things in the movie that could be considered violent. And I don't want to see those things because I feel it, and when you feel it, it's just like this one movie. Something happened to the girl and she passed away in the movie. But it wasn't a movie, it was a series. And when that episode was over, it just showed her in that state. And I dreamed about that for nights, and it kind of bothered me. So I try to stay away from things that are violent when I'm watching television. And really, I don't watch television much at all. If I'm on the television, I'm watching a show that was on maybe back in the 70s or something that was old, something that is not really it's not really hard on the subconscious mind. Of course, that there's programs in everything, but I would rather watch something calm than to watch a murder mystery or something like that. And you should adapt that habit too, because definitely it can affect your energy. That energy is not destroyed when you turn that television off. That energy is transformed. And where it's transformed to is within you. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Yes, your mood can change very quickly. I agree with that. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient with you. Totally disagree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Yes, I'm a procrastinator. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. So true. I don't even know why they gave the other options. You usually prefer to be around others than on your own. Definitely disagree. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I got to disagree with that because I love those conversations. You find it easy to emphasize what the person who experiences are different than yours. I disagree with that. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It says easy to empathize. So I agree with that. One thing I want to tell you about the test also, make sure that when you're taking this test, you're being true to yourself so that you can get accurate information. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I do. You rarely second guess the choices you have made. Maybe sometimes. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. No, thank you. You enjoy going to art museums. I've never been to one, so that's going to be neutral for me. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I disagree with that, and that's where the empathic side comes in. Being able to feel the feelings of others or the emotions of others. I feel you. Your energy introduces me to you before you even approach me. Your energy has already made that introduction. So by the time you approach me, I already know what your true intentions are. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're thinking. I already know that regardless of what you present to me. So that's a part of being able to pick up those feelings is a part of being an empath. You like to have a to-do list for each day. I wish I would. You rarely feel insecure. I'll say sometimes. You avoid making phone calls, most definitely. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I do that. Now we're 70% into the test. We're winding on down. In your social circle, you are often the one that contacts your friends and initiates activities. No, I will if I have to. That goes back to that leadership thing. If nobody else is going to do it, I'll step up and do it. But I'm not going to be the volunteer of that. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I'll say yes a little. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I disagree with that. You rarely contemplate the reason for human existence or the meaning of life. I disagree. And while I'm thinking about it, another thing that I wanted to express to you about being an empath, an introvert, or extrovert is the fact that when you are an introvert or and an empath, your way to recharge is to go within. Whenever you're feeling drained, whenever you're in the midst of those groups and you get away, it's time for you to recharge so that you can fill your energy bank. For extroverts, it's quite the opposite. The way you're going to recharge is to be around people. So keep that in mind. If you take this test and you find out that you're introverted, know that you need to recharge when you have these group activities or you're around a large group of people. You need to take time to recharge. That's a part of minding your mental, taking that break when needed. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I disagree. You take care not to make people look bad. I totally agree. I'm always the one taking up for other people's children. I'm always the one taking up for others. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized, true. And the crazy thing about it is in my numerology chart, that's one of the things I need to be working on. That's organization. You all got to keep me accountable for that. I have to work on being more organized. And the thing about it is when I am organized, I love it. It's wonderful. But the thing is getting there. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long will it take for them to be disappointed in you? I disagree. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Oh, yeah. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I disagree. You feel more drawn to places with busy, oh no. I don't even have to go any further for that. You know at first glance how someone is feeling, and I agree. And that comes from that empathic side. You feel overwhelmed often. I do sometimes. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. No, that's a part of the organization I was talking about. Needing to be able to organize. I'm going to tighten up on that and I'm going to keep you posted on that because this is something that I really need to be working towards. And I want you to hold me accountable. So I'm going to work on my organizational skills. I think I'm getting better in some areas. My thing is I get started and then I kind of fall off a little bit. So maybe if I do it in front of you, I can let you hold me accountable for being organized in the way that I should. You are very intrigued by things labeled controversial. Yeah, I like to dig into that a little bit. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more, and have. Let me tell you what happened to me. I was on this job and I had a really good friend on that job. There was a supervisor's position that came up. Both of us applied for that position. While a lot of people were saying that my hat was in the ring for the position, I know how much my friend wanted that position. I thought about it, and after a while, I decided to go ahead, and we were the only two left. And they had to have a final interview with the two of us before they decided who got the position. I already had another offer from another department to move positions or locations. That was the choice I was kind of faced with. Either I would take that leadership position, or either I would go to the other location that I was offered. I thought about it. I knew how much she wanted that position, and I decided to turn the position down just so that she would get the position uncontested. That's a part of, passing along good opportunities if I thought, because I thought she needed it more. I thought I just felt like, you wanted it so much more. Not that I didn't want the position, but I saw how passionate she was about it. And her being my friend, I wanted her to grow too. So I just decided to step down from the position and let her, walk into the position uncontested. And I never looked back at that moment. This is the first time I've ever discussed it. It never made me feel bad. It never made me think I should have accepted that position. It just filled my heart with gratitude, knowing that I helped her be happy. I helped her get what she needed and what she wanted in her life. So that's the type of person I am. Although you struggle with deadlines, a little bit, you feel confident that things will work out for you. Of course, and I teach that confidence to you too. So when you come to the end of the test, that's where I'm at. At the end of the test, it asks you for your gender. This is optional, but I just do it anyway. It determines the avatar in the screen results. Let me tell you, these screen results are amazing. That's why I'm not sponsored by this company. I don't know anything about this company other than I found it doing a Google search. But when I see something that's really good, I have to share it. This 16personalities.com, this personality test just blew me away. And to know that it's for free, and this is what comes up. It says your personality type is mediator, INFPA. It tells you when it comes to your mind. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. This is talking about whether you're introverted or extroverted. This is how you interact with your environment. Only 9%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% of my personality is extroverted, while on the other hand, 91% is introverted. Next is talking about your energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. 86% says that I'm intuitive, but only 14% says that I'm observant. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. 2% thinking. 98% for me is through feeling. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work and planning and decision making. 24% of this is judging. I don't quite know how 24% could be judging, but maybe I'm getting a misunderstanding about the word judging. And 76% means prospecting. Approach the work planning and decision making. Okay. I just thought that would be opposite. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. I'm 67% assertive and 33% turbulent. I'm glad for that. And that's not all, folks. That is not all. No thanks. I'll get it later. Wait a minute. The gift of empathy. This is when I talked about. So when you go to read more, it gives you an introduction of what your overall personality type is like. It says, although they may seem quiet and unassuming, mediators have vibrant, passionate inner lives. That's what I told you, creative and imaginative. They happily lose themselves in daydreams, inventing all sorts of stories and conversations in their mind. Conversations. These personalities are known for their sensitivity. When they talk about sensitivity, they're talking about your ability to feel the emotions and feel the energy of others. Mediators have profound emotional responses to music. You hear me talk about music all the time. Art and nature. Idealistic and empathetic. Mediators long for deep, soulful relationships, and they feel called to help others. This is definitely me. I'm telling you, this is just like reading your numerology chart or reading your astrology chart. This 16 personalities test is awesome. It says idealistic and empathetic. Mediators long for deep, soulful relationships, and they are called to help others. But because this personality types make up such a small portion of the population, mediators may sometimes feel lonely or invisible, adrift in a world that doesn't seem to appreciate their traits that make them unique. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by frost. J.R.R. Tolkien. And that's what it's all the way through like this. It tells you everything about your personality type. The gift of empathy. Since I was talking about being an empath, I, of course, want to share this part with you. Mediators share a sincere curiosity about the depths of human nature. Introspective to the core, they're exquisitely attuned to their own thoughts and feelings, but they yearn to understand the people around them as well. Mediators are compassionate, non-judgmental, and always willing to hear another person's story. When someone opens up to them or turns to them for comfort, they feel honored to listen and be of help. They could not put this any better. I mean, if I had to describe my personality type, it would be exactly as such. This is wonderful. And then you can go over on to your right side of this, and it has your introduction, this is what we're reading now. It also tells you about your strengths And weaknesses, the strengths of the mediator: empathic, generous, open-minded, creative, passionate, idealistic. The weaknesses: unrealistic, self-isolated, I can believe that, unfocused, emotionally vulnerable, desperate to please, and self-critical. Also goes into your romantic relationships. You should check that out. It goes into your friendships, parenthood, career paths, workplace habits, and then it gives you a conclusion. So here's what I have to say. After seeing this today, make sure that you go and get your 16 personality test done. I mean, this is just amazing information. And I feel like everyone should be able to know what their personality is and to know how to deal with people according to that personality so that they don't drain their energy or burn themselves out. I talk more about being an introvert or extrovert and an empath in the conversation. But when I saw this tool, I really just wanted to use today's backstage to show you a new way that you can check out your personality type and you can actually get answers for some of the questions that you've been asking. Why do you act this way? Or why do you do that? Because sometimes, I know for me, a long time, all I heard about being an introvert is, I really didn't even know what it was. I just knew that I was always quiet and to myself. And a lot of people for many years thought that it was something wrong with me. They really felt, this is really deep for me because I'm going to get into the deep side of it, the side that I haven't really talked about. A lot of people have not approached me. A lot of people don't care to deal with me. They think I'm snobby. They think that I'm stuck up. A lot of people have felt that way about me for a long time because they don't understand my personality type. And I used to question that for myself, especially as a teenager, because I didn't even understand my personality type. But now I know that this is my personality type. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. It doesn't mean I don't care about you. It means quite the opposite. I am a loving person. I am a caring person, but I'm not physically expressive of it. All of that is inside of me. And I do allow that to show. Once I get close to people and once I can build that connection with people. But a lot of people think that when you are this way, that you're not having any fun, you don't want to be bothered, you think you're better than everybody else. And it has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just your personality type. So today I'm urging you to go up there. It's free and look at all the information you get. Check your personality type and then start writing down some things that you can do to improve your life using that list. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.